Welcome on all. Hope you're all doing well. Welcome to yet again another edition of the London session. See what we can come up with moving forward here today, guys. Without further ado though, let's get this show on the road. So as always, guys, good morning, good afternoon, and a very good evening, no matter where we are around this world. As I mentioned, welcome to another edition of the London session. Hope you guys are all having a good one. Obviously gold, looking at the gold still obviously forming quite a strong bearish candle on the weekly here. So I mean, off the back of that, are we about to confirm our first bearish candle closure in quite some time here on the weekly time frame? It's like it could be the case, but as we know with gold, anything could happen, so don't be surprised still if it actually starts to again push back up. Nothing surprises me when it comes to gold. Have no expectations, have a plan, create the rules, trade the plan. That's all you need to do. But anyway, guys, you guys do know the drill, so if you could, don't forget YouTube, please make sure to smash that like button for me. TikTok also, you guys need to hit that screen for me, help the man out. And let's get cracking, guys. Any charts, any questions, anything you'd like me to have a look at, please feel free to pop that into the chat. I will do my best to have a look at it shortly. Let's have a look at the news, guys. Let's see if we have anything of impact for our session here today. Nothing listed. Absolutely nothing at all, to be honest. So pretty smooth sailing. Moving forward into MI session, what have we got here today? So some orange fall news. Existing home sales, $40 is a few hours into the session. Tomorrow seems to be a pretty big day with news. Won't be on stream and I will not be on the charts. Don't have the time tomorrow, so but anyway, if anyone is on the charts, which I assume a lot of you will be, need to be wary of the fact that tomorrow is a massive day when it comes to news events. All right, without further ado, guys, let's do what we're all here for, and that is have a look at gold, analyze gold, see what the plan is moving forward on today's stream. So starting the weekly time frame, as we can see, we are yet again, like I mentioned before, forming quite a strong bearish candle. We've also got a higher high and a lower low. A little bit of a tricky one off the back of that, but off the back of the strength of the bearish candle, then I'd be more inclined to look for possible sell options. Just we'll wait and see though as we go down the time frames daily, leaving a long lower wick, rejecting some previous resistance here to the left, fair distance off it, but we'll mark in that previous daily candle's high. If we were to break above it, what that candle would suggest to me is that we've grabbed some downside liquidity. If the current candle, again high low, begins to break, create the high high, then I do think there's a really good chance that potentially still by the end of the week we could be back up near the all-time high or moving forward into the new week. For our structure here, in my opinion, still remains technically bullish, as I've mentioned all throughout the week. With the technical level where it would confirm a flip is 39, 40, 45, 42, that sort of region, 43. So long as we remain above it, we are technically bullish in my personal opinion. Yes, we have created a equal high and a low, but none of these to me are swings. They're just pauses within price action. We've not pulled back to really create a lower high. We're just consolidating at the minute. Gonna mark in resistance at that point there, change that to gray. Support, we'll mark it in on the M15. There's a big zone here on the gold. So above the daily candles high, that previous daily, like I mentioned before, it does look pretty good for some potential options. Now on to the all important execution time frame, that being M15. What we can see is we are currently at some resistance, and structurally, let me have a look at that before I give you my ideas of what I'll be looking at today. So structurally, we have actually flipped bullish on the 15 here, and we will remain bullish at this point until closures back below 4,044 roughly, unless we confirm a higher high. So off the back of that, and the fact that the current daily is forming bullish, while our structure is technically still bullish, so bit of a mixed bag, guys. So if we begin to pop above the resistance here, I do see we have some pretty clean traffic to the left, but what I want to be a little bit wary of, and what I neglected to look at yesterday, and I think that's what brought about that downfall in that trade, to be honest, that losing trade, was what I'm usually very cognizant of, and that is when price breaks the Asian range high, what I usually like to do is let it retest and see if it's going to respect and look for continuation buys as opposed to the limit order. So that's where I think I got caught out yesterday, as point mentioned by a mate of mine on the members call afterwards, and I think he was 100% correct. So something I'm going to be, again, is just sometimes we have these little slip ups, guys. Usually I'm really weary of it, and I would not have taken that trade because of that, but again, we're human, we make mistakes. So today what I'll be looking for is, once again, price to pop above the resistance, pull back towards the Asian session high, the range high. If nothing else, at least retest this resistance and begin to pull away from it, as opposed to looking for any limit order option. So that is a potential option off the bat. Otherwise, moving forward, what I can see is we've got some more minor support here. Let me quickly check in a 4 hour. It is actually a 4 hour support. We're just going to drag that down a little bit and see if we can adjust it at all. Gonna get it on the 15. Yeah, I'm going to leave that zone in. All right, so for me, further options to buy it, first of all, will be upon the pullback. Now, it doesn't necessarily need to pull away back down to 4,072, where the zone begins, that sort of region. We've got some support within the current zone. So if price was to pull back to, even within this area, to around 4,089.50 roughly, grab some liquidity from that point there, then that also could provide a potential entry point to the upside. So it's just a matter of what zone we pull back to and respect in accordance to the buys, the level I want to get involved. So levels formed on the move to the upside, and that's what I'd be looking at, basically one of these two levels or above the high. Now, as far as sells, guys, what I'd be looking at moving forward today for the sell, seeing we do have the weekly forming strong bearish candle, not afraid to sell it against the 15-minute structure. So what I'd be looking at is to see if we do reject the current level. If we did begin to reject and we had a catalyst within price action forming from the current level, I would definitely entertain my options to take a sell from around that 41.05 to 41.10 sort of region. So it's just a matter of waiting for a signal to present from that level, and if it does so, I would be happy to look for a sell option. Otherwise, we could look for potential sells from the 4 hour resistance as well. And that is the plan moving forward for the gold, guys. So hopefully that makes sense. Feel free to ask questions. I'll just leave that for the time being. All right, so that's the gold. Let's quickly look at, hopefully I'm not on mute. No, I'm not. Have a look at GJ chart I sent into the members group. GJ also looking like it's about to break to the upside. Similar circumstance scenario here on GJ, but it is actually very bullish. We've got the weekly forming strong bullish. We've got daily counter probabilities to the upside as well. Looking like we could potentially break through this consolidation. 4 hour is technically still bullish, but approaching some resistance. So it's bullish across the board here on GJ. Would preference the buys. Not a bad option to buy if this candle creates a bit of a low wick and begins to pop above that previous candle's high. That would be a pretty nice option to take a buy up towards 203.50. Otherwise, I'd be looking for pullback buys from 203.05 or 202.90 roughly. Quickly back to the gold. All right, we didn't close above, didn't leave an upper wick, did we? Tiny one, my broker's chart. Got a really small one here too. Yeah, there's no entry in the minute. All right, GU, let me look at GU. I did also send a GU chart into my members group, and the plan for GU is sells. Me, I'd be more inclined to look for sell options, forming a very strong bearish weekly candle. Daily candles, previous candle tapped into support, closing back weak bearish. Not much need for the current one to pull back all that far. For was to continue to bounce off this, zone, to be honest. It should just create a bit of a low wick, or more often than not, I would say, or let me rephrase that, it would create a bit of a low wick and begin to pop above the high. I've got camera keeps dropping, guys. I've got issues, so apologies. So seeing we are pulling back, well, we have created a steep lower wick. Also, I think be more inclined to look for the sell options as well off the back of that. 4 hour is currently engulfing bearish in bullish in structure. Technically, actually, it's the only time frame that is technically bullish, but we are creating some lower highs within the actual trend itself. 30-minute is definitely bearish. So for me at GU, I'd be more inclined to look for sells upon the pullback. The only way I would consider a buy is if the 15 closes weak bearish just here above the resistance after tapping back into the range below. What that would suggest to me is that we've grabbed some more downside liquidity. If we're going to break above that weak bearish candle's high and the following candle, I do believe there'd be a high probability that we could actually make the move up. So that is something I would consider. Otherwise, I'd be just looking for the pullback sells on GU. Let's watch gold pump to the upside without, again, any confirmation for me. It's been one of those weeks, guys. Not been pleasant. Just the one trade, that was yesterday. I've not been on the charts much, guys. I've been so flat out. Yeah, that was a 1.25% loss yesterday. So still, it's managed. It's not a crazy loss. Still well up for the month. It's been a quiet month. I did take a couple weeks off. Still well and truly in the blue when it comes to the longer term perspective. So them's the brace, guys. You have your moments where you take losing trades. All right, Franco, more to you. Zach, good call on gold dip, bro. Caught in and got a bit of profit, sold just before the small rise again. Cheers, man. Nice work, mate. Good work. Happy to hear it. Sebastian, more to you, my friend. Don't forget to hit the like button if you could, guys, on YouTube, TikTok. Smash that screen for me if you can. I'll get to you guys just now. Let's have a look at the chat. China got a lot of gold as per news, which indicate price going. Is it true? China has been accumulating gold for a while now. I think it's maybe just being released into mainstream media. Not sure. But yeah, not just gold, silver as well. We don't have anything today news, but tomorrow, yep, it is. Goldzar diamond in 4H. No idea what the diamond is other than the rock. Gold is going to be tough again today. No lower wick, no upper wick, no lower wick. Disa, hello to you. No, it's 15. Yes, this is gold XAUUSD. And 54 EU gold. EU actually drew up a chart too. I didn't actually send it into the members, I forgot. Yeah, similar to GU. I'd be looking for sells or buys from low down. Now I'd be interested in buys from the support. Very similar. The majors are all very similar. You got the weekly forming strong bearish. EU is at some pretty strong support though. The 4-hour structure is also still technically bullish. Yeah, it is definitely bullish. Yeah, to be honest with me, I'd be looking for pullback sells on EU. Pullback sells at one of the minor levels at the minute, so 116.04 roughly. Or 116.125. These ranges are tiny. They're really small in EU at the minute. But that being said, you can get a pretty cheeky little one-to-one of using a previous counter high. For the most part, you probably get it like a 5-6 pip one-to-one. Oh. Certainly keep my magic keys keypad, which I'm using at the minute. Thought it may have opened a position by accident, but it didn't. God, what can you do with this? Honestly, guys. Let's say you're just a levels trader using fibs and things like that, which I respect. If that's the case, fantastic. I wish you luck and I hope you're making some good profits out of this. As a price action confirmation trader, it's not easy at the minute. With this sort of volume, these candles are massive. But it is what it is. It happens, guys. You have these moments. Drool, 3F5, how about the gap? You're referring to that, which I just consider clean traffic. It looks like it's about to fill it. And 50, grab along 115.782 on EU. Well, looks like you're doing okay, my friend. From pick the bottom. Way you would have done that, but well done. Was 30 pip scalp, nice work. Sometimes you get lucky and right on. I got lucky on an interruption. Not lucky, it was a planned entry. And it was a signal on an interruption play on gold on the daily time frame with 0.7 of a pip drawdown only on the daily time frame here. It's just there. Literally just there. Imagine if I held it. Ifs, buts, maybes. Got in on that one too. About two and a bit pip draw now. I wish gold was back at those levels. This camera's gonna give me shits all stream. Gold in the minute, so just need to make the move. Pull back, retest. Not a lot I can do, to be honest, guys. All right, let's go down to 1 minute again. See what went. All right. All right, so 2 days in a row. Two days in a row, we've had the 1 minute break, retest, continuation. Just looking, doesn't mean I'm going to start trading it, but why I'm looking at it is because we've got a lot of volume, obviously, for the past little while. So it will make sense to try to see what within, you know, what your maybe your normal time frame is, which is the 15-minute, what has gone on within that, to perhaps find a way moving forward to get involved in these random moves that just come from the middle of nowhere. Because to me, this is a very impulsive entry, and it's not, again, it's not my cup of tea. So what can I do? Look within it. 5 minute, not offering that much, to be honest. Go down to 1 minute. 1 minute looks pretty clean, in all honesty. Dears Devek, good day to you, mate. Hope you're well. A bit earlier as to what's happening. Yeah, I've seen a lot, to be honest, with the gold war between China and US. Yeah, I mean, China's been accumulating it for a while, even before they actually admitted to doing so. Again, not just gold, but silver, big time as well. BRICS nations are quite big when it comes to silver as well. They do or have been accumulating a lot of it. And I think it could be a planned thing, because I think they know they can literally crash the markets by they could sink some of the major banks around the world who are heavy short, very short, heavy short on silver. Miss Stang, 2K15. How you analyze the zones. How do I draw my zones? Gray zones are the 4-hour zones that are the more significant levels. The blue zones are the ones within it. Generally speaking, it's the highest point of any bearish candle under resistance to the closest body of any bearish candle, what happens to be the same candle here. The downside, I've used the 4-hour. So using that body there, I know we have one here, but it just lines up better when we go down to the minor time frame. To the lowest point of any bullish candle, so you can see it connects to that body, and that's the lowest point on the 4-hour. So look at a 4-hour first. I mean, this is also a 4-hour zone, to be honest. You could even drag that up. Yeah, it is a 4-hour zone. So you have to incorporate the high of the bullish candle here, because on the 4-hour holds precedence. It's a high on the 4-hour. It remains, that's the highest point in the zone. And again, it's subjective. I like to have my zones like that because the amount of times to see price respect and reject those levels, it's unreal. Not always going to do it. My mic? No idea. Not sure. Could be because I'm playing with the camera, but the mic isn't through the cam. The mic is an actual microphone. All good now. Dominic, how much gold grow up now? Who knows? Who knows? Next level is a 4-hour level. We're tapping into it. We just tapped into it. Yeah, gold. It seems to do this pretty much the same thing every time I come to the chart this week. And we probably say, well, why not just buy it then? Because it's not a strength. My strength is not impulse entries, breakouts. It's not a strength of mine. I have a plan for them, and it's definitely didn't tick the box. Almost. I had to have an upper wick, and this had to have a lower wick, and it otherwise probably would have ticked the box because it did close very strong with momentum around minimum halfway within a zone. It has to, and that's about halfway by the looks of it. So again, the concern is if I just took it, and if it doesn't work, I'd be shitting myself breaking my rules, knowing I'm trading not a strength of mine, impulse entry. So is what it is. Making the move just now, how much again I can do. Miss Tang, 2K15, all good. Keep it. XN, let's see, I'll just call it keep it. Gold short made some good money, nice one. Asian session, yeah, Asian session is good, but I like to normally do my own thing. Okay, pull back, retest the Asian around the Asian range high, or at least this resistance form support above it, and then look for a buy. But Who knows? Gold probably just rip. Keep it. I expect nothing. I react. I don't expect. I'm not going to say, right, next candle is going to end up closing at 41.44, followed by one pull back to 41.40. How do you know? Have no expectations. Let them print. Have a plan. My plan is quite simply just now let it pull back, form support, provide a price action catalyst from this level. That's my plan. Remove all these now. Remove that to far off it. Approaching some resistance. Let's quickly look at, so we've tapped into the 4-hour level. Let's look at the weekly. Let's see how that's forming at the minute. So it's still forming quite strong bearish. So what I'd be looking for is also potential rejection. Want it to pop up a little bit higher and then look for possible rejection for a sell. Again, as candles and data, as data prints, I reassess, and that's what the new plan in accordance to the data printing, and we'll see. We were around this level at the same time yesterday, Dave Smith. Yeah, true. Yep. This freaking camera. The whale. It's gold coin. Spot gold. XAUUSD. It's not crypto, mate. Money, best tips for beginners. Have a plan, have a trading plan, know exactly how many trades a day, what pairs you're trading, what you're risking per day, what hours you're trading a day, and a rough idea of your game plan as to, you know, what is your edge on the markets, things like that. Make sure to journal. That's very important because journaling will uncover some patterns within your trading, good and bad. And what I would suggest is just don't worry so much about the negatives and just work on your strengths. So play to your strengths. That's important. But the most important thing is patience and discipline. It's the toughest discipline when it comes to trading. It's the toughest thing to master. It's patience and discipline, guys. Sitting on your hands by far and away. Most traders will understand an edge that could work, but they just don't have the discipline to pull it off and trade it properly. I'll take a loss, they'll want to jump back in. Emotions will start to get a hold of them. They get greedy when they're in profits and want to continue, and then it goes against them, so on and so forth. So don't be greedy, be patient. Try to be as robotic as you possibly can. So again, you need to practice things like that. You can forward test on a small account, you can back test, you can use a sim. What I use, obviously, again, Forex Tester. If anyone is interested, it's by far and away the best simulator on the markets. Yeah. Ooh, you're already in. Nice one. This to me, it is same area, and it's pretty much the same shit as yesterday, isn't it? Same move yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday's move on stream. Oh no, it wasn't. Yeah, sorry. This tune reminds me of like the music in Mario Brothers. Yeah, just very, very careful, extremely careful. No limit order today. Yeah, and I want to see it pull back to tap into this resistance and see how we react to it this time. But yeah, yesterday my bad, guys. Yesterday my bad. I usually so weary of the Asian range high. I was pulling back to see how we retest it. Again, I've got a lot going on, to be honest, guys. I'm not gonna lie. And I think my focus has not been fantastic. I did miss a move or two earlier in the week, and some of my members have been killing it. I know that, but I've seen a move afterwards. So sometimes you have these moments, guys. I remember someone asking, I think it was one of the members one time asked me, do you ever that moments where you can't seem to, like, you feel like you've not forgotten how to trade, but you feel a little bit lost on the charts. And you do. Sometimes you have those moments where you miss things. I'm really strict with my discipline and following my rules. Seeing the right setup. And I'm normally extremely good at that. But fact of the matter is I've missed a few this week. And the one I took was not the best one. So you have those moments, guys. The important thing is, for the rest of the time, that you remain humble. When you're doing well, you don't run around like you've just won the World Cup or whatever. You just keep on keeping on. You do the same shit. Every trade's different from the past, so take it as it comes. To win, you enjoy it for a minute or two, you move on. Loss, you look back at it. You obviously got to journal it, see where you may have gone wrong, and then you move on. And do you recommend funding accounts towards? No, not at all. I think it's a waste of money at the beginning, because you need to work on discipline and patience more so than anything else, and it's even more strict on a funded account. So you're basically going to give them money for nothing, because the likelihood of passing it is very, very low. That's just the honest truth. If you ask me the question, that's what I believe personally. Become good at it. I recommend demo trading before trying to start a prop firm challenge as a beginner. And become good at a certain strategy or edge or whatever, and once you've proven that you can consistently do it over a lengthy period of time, then maybe you can think about it. This happens to me often, very annoying, just watching your trade go in front of your eyes. And yeah, no, I'm usually really good with it. It doesn't happen to me often at all, but this week it has. This week it's a couple of times I've seen after the fact, when members have brought up, I took this trade, what I think was it not valid, and it was valid, I just totally missed it. Money, any courses to have better? No. I mean, I've got a course, but I don't know if it's for beginners. This is the website I would recommend, and it's for free. Type in the chat for you. Let's get an understanding of trading. It gives you some basics when it comes to analysis and that as well. So yeah, that's where I would start. Jelena GU, had a look at it before. I'd be looking for sells today. So sells upon the pullback. I mean, if this thing rejects, there's only 4 minutes left, so it's not gonna, I was gonna say if it closes back right near the resistance, back below the blue zone, I'd be looking for sells. What I probably in this instance prefer to see is a bit of support, up below support, and then look for your options to sell it. But I'd be, yeah, more looking for sells on GU. It's forming a strong bearish candle on the weekly. You got the minor time frame bearish. It's just a matter of which level to sell it from. No entry on gold yet. No entry on gold. So it's no signal service anyway. So again, if I take a trade, I will call it, guys. Money. I typed it in the chat. Just have a scroll up. I'll type it one more time. So it's a good place for beginners. It's for free. There's no catches. I think they do ask you to sign up, but there's no money involved, so don't worry about that. Petrolina, all good. Peter J, good day to you, mate. Welcome. Ash, not popping up in TikTok chat, isn't it? Or maybe because I put, all right, one. Oh, I'll type in differently. Probably because I'm putting .com at the end. Just baby pips. There you go. I've said it. Michael Hughes, have I heard? Yes, FTMO. Of course I am. Probably the most reputable of the prop firms. Liam, great work. Happy for you. TikTok's getting very sensitive when someone uses BNS words in, yeah. Yeah, TikTok's really strict with it in comparison to YouTube. Why don't show the full screen? This camera. Ash, do you have fun? No, live account. Funding accounts are, I don't believe him. Maybe one day again, but yeah. Liam, but you're still down 400. Just don't try to smash it out of the park, mate. Just have a plan again. Don't over risk. Michael, on your second account, nice one. Yeah. No, I've heard good reports from everyone about FTMO, but again, the one prop firm I had a challenge and passed and was due a payout and screwed me. It really pissed me off at the time. Put me off big time, because FTMO, as good as it is, I also have heard a few times of, you know, people not having any idea why their account was suspended. So it can still happen on any prop firm challenge. Because the fact of the matter is, they basically will pay out through the people who lose, basically, who just keep retrying, keep failing. Because most of them aren't connected to a proper liquidity provider. I'm sure of it. Peter J, short day for me. Hard to see the charts getting over. Oh man, tough one. I know. Well, personally, I haven't had it or don't have it. I think once you get it, you've got it for your life, don't you? Just plays up at times. But my mum has it. You get some bad pains from it. So I hope best of luck with that, mate. Liam, it's me being impatient. It happens. You learn. Maybe one day. Calf Yo-Yo, good day to you. Lost 6.5k, Mellow. Hopefully it was risk that you're willing to accept. This to make I say if that's prop firms trade your best way personally. But I do understand some people want access to more funds, but just be careful because again they can make up rules at any moment to not pay you out, as per my experience. Have BTC and gold long. Gold I need to pull back. BTC bit late, similar to gold, it's making the same move. Same thing. Bitcoin I'd want to pull back. That was from the other day. Yeah, pull back, high low. And that's where I would consider it. Let's see, it's gold. Looks like it could make the move back down. Remembering yesterday, guys, pumped and then dumped. At London Open, we dumped, sold off very quickly. So could it be doing the same today? Let's see. Do I think it was short? No expectations. We'll see. Ash, I've heard prop firms will use any excuse. Yep. In my case, exactly. And that was a big 300k account, so they didn't want to pay out. Would have been good money, but is what it is. The risk when you have a challenge going, even if you've passed it, it's always that risk they could at any point. So you've hard breached the account. And there's nothing you can do, honestly. What am I trading? Gold, spot gold, XAUUSD. Calf breakout's best prop firm, no hidden rules. It's on demand. Never heard of it, to be honest. Drew pull back to previous resistance that it has broken, a 4-hour level, and see how price reacts to it in the minor time frames. It's this effect, nothing worse than getting all excited for a payout of the week's training just to get, yep. It really, really didn't feel good, to be honest. I had very big plans with that account too. But again, that's how life goes, guys. That's how life goes. Shit happens. It's been a tough stretch personally. Had a lot going on. But training's been pretty good. Other than yesterday, training's been good. Keep on keeping on. Keep at it. And again, just like anything in life, things change, things will turn. Eventually, the other aspects will go in line with the training, which is bullish. So we'll see. Drew, all good. Calf, you're longing 4100. Nice one. Jobs, been over it a million times, so it's broken out of the 4-hour resistance. I want to see it pull back to form support back above the resistance, perhaps retest the Asian session high and form support above it in order to look for some buy options. Otherwise, if it pops up higher, I'd be looking for some potential sells from below 41, 44 roughly, 42, that sort of region, 48 even. And if it does pull back to form support, only to reject support and pop below, and I may even contemplate some sell options off the back of that, because fact of the matter is the weekly is still forming quite a strong bearish candle, and it could just be pulling back within this candle to previous levels, grab some more liquidity before it continues to the downside. We do have otherwise structure to the upside on every time frame here. You've only got the weekly, plus let's have a look at daily candle again. All right, so fair way to go to break the high of the previous daily and inside bar candle, but it has obviously flipped and forming pretty strong bullish. So on the flip side to the weekly, the daily, what we can look at is within the daily levels where it could potentially pull back to, was to continue bullish on the minor time frames. You want to see it form support and look for a catalyst to head back up. And obviously the most immediate level we've got is this 4-hour resistance we have recently just broken out of. So I want to see it retest, form support around that level, and then I potentially be involved in a buy. Oops. Stupid camera. Yeah, I gotta fix that. Rana G, thank you for sharing the live. And if you're ready for live but only have 1,000 for a live, what do you recommend? If your thing is, you got to be willing to accept the risk, because you might not get that money back, mate. It's very different when you're trading a live account. You know, the emotions start to creep in. I had an instance where I went from trading a $1,000 account up to 10k, and all of a sudden I had a 1 lot running on a trade, and it was a shock to me at the time. Didn't know what to do, to be honest. Went a couple pips into drawdown, and the numbers were much higher than what I was used to. A couple pips into profit, much higher. Took me a while to get used to that. But since I've traded much bigger accounts, so risk what you can afford to lose is what I would recommend. If that is 1k, where if something happens, or if the broker steals it from you, because that could also happen potentially. If it does happen, you're not, yeah, you might be a bit shitty obviously, but you're not, it's not like it's going to spoil your life, because you desperately needed that 1k. So just risk what you can. If it's 1k, don't go crazy, and try to flip it in a day or a week. Trade it as you would trade a big account. So risk maybe 1-2% a trade, stick to that. Again, prove to yourself that you can trade it consistently, steadily, and grow, compound the profits. And once you've done that, maybe add whatever you can afford to the live account. Or if you really think you're ready for it, maybe you can go for a challenge with the profits maybe from the live account. Persistence pays off. It does, mate. It does. It's over anything in life, obviously. Liam took a short those massive candles, just bottom to get that long accident. Distant country is in. Where am I from? I think you probably know. Where are we all from though, guys? All right, so we're pulling back to now potentially retest the Asian session high. At that point, technically it's still open, but what I often see is price. So I've got the range set to Tokyo Open, Tokyo Currency Exchange Open, to the Euro Open. Because what I usually see is price will reverse back towards highest point at the Euro Open, or the highest point prior to the Euro Open, and either tank, block through it, or retest it, form support, and head back up, and vice versa to the downside. So that's why I've set the parameters to that for this particular indicator, and we'll see how price reacts to the level. We're tapped into the resistance. So from this point on, if we have a price action catalyst to the upside, I could potentially be looking at some buys. Liam, you stop loss Asian high as well. No, welcome to you, mate. Hope you're well. Yeah, all good, mate. All good. Got some price tapping to H4 resistance. Yeah, well, I mean, today it would have already. I mean, it probably would have been break even. It was yesterday. They did the same thing, but you know, I'm just looking for support now. I need some sort of confirmation. Here's the VIX, South Africa. I remember you mentioning that. Liam, 3k from that short, attempted top tip that high. Well, did okay. I lost the root back in this entry. Yeah, I know. Done it a couple days in a row. The old delayed 1 minute entry would have worked a couple days in a row. Potentially, but yeah, anyway. Okay, not for a long time. Long time. We used to when it were good old days. When you had Anderson, Spider Silver, Chuck Liddell, and all those guys. So Jean-Paul Gaultier. What's his name again? French, I can't remember, man. I can't remember names. Rampage, Jackson, all those guys. George St. Pierre, yeah, not John Paul. The other bloody perfume. George St. Pierre, yeah. Used to love that. Big, I can't remember his name too. He was a big country, I think they called him. I can't remember his actual name. He just did not look the part. He was fat. Just looked unfit as anything, but was apparently super fit. Kind of look like John Silver. Yeah, I don't know who that person is. Daniel Cormier. Chris? Not sure of that name as well. It's mate Max, there is a delay between stream here and YouTube. It sucks on YouTube, by the way. Yeah, whatever, each their own. Shouldn't be a delay, it's ultra low latency, so it should be pretty much instant, maybe 2 seconds, 30 seconds max. In YouTube you get full screen, you can get all the numbers, scales, all that. But all good. You're supporting the stream on TikTok, so thank you. Risk and relax. GSP, yeah, that was the one. How's the corner? Good day to you. It's technically sound fighter, but boring to watch. Yeah, very skilled, wasn't he? George, was it George Penn? John Penn? The Prodigy? I can't remember his, there's something Penn. PJ Penn, I think it was. That's when it was good. That's when it was really good back in those days. PJ Penn, yeah. Alright guys, just give me a second. I wanna, something's going on out there. 2 seconds. All right, guys. Apologies. WS London trade, okay, to you. DS to Vec, power fair. Yeah, that sucks. You got MetaTrader on your phone? Did I not send a link to my team? I don't think I did. Send one, but I don't know if it's really worth it, guys. I don't know how much longer I'll be on for. Best poll, it's good. It's good to buy. Potentially. So as opposed to yesterday, limit order would have worked today. And is what it is. But again, I want to see how price reacts to the resistance. Would be nice if it tapped into the Asian range high. Oh, GJ, that's nice. That looked really good on GJ. That's perfect. See, that's the catalyst I want for gold to take that impulse entry. It is exactly what I'd like to see for a breakout. It's closed well above 50%. This is in my course that I've put together. Has to close above 50% because then you've got, it has to be a strong body candle. That suggests that we've got momentum, we've got volume, we're ready to maybe clear the resistance, clear the consolidation in this case. All we need is a low wick where it pops up a little bit first, then pops down, or whether it pops straight down, then breaks the high. Just, you have to wait and see. And then you got your entry. Perfect, absolutely perfect on GJ. Gold has not given that at all this week. Gold is just ripped from the middle of the consolidation or from below resistance, so it's given me no confirmation. It's been very tricky in that regard. GU looking okay for perhaps some sells. If this M30 closed bearish engulfing, I think that's a very strong catalyst. Sell option, let's look at EU quickly. Bit of R1 on EU's tapped into support, bouncing straight off it, so nothing there. WS London, you're gonna buy from the bottom. Nice one. Crazy market yesterday. Yeah, to be honest, I've not been on the charts much. To estimate, no. Oh, it's a laptop, powered Wi-Fi. Yeah, it's tough, mate. WS London trader. Bitcoin buy, we're probably in a good position too then. Vision Network, thank you for sharing the live. As the corner, it was sad to see BJ later years. He would start fights in public and get KO'd. His last was bouncer. The bouncer dropped him. Really didn't know of that. I thought he was really humble, to be honest. Oh, well, morning in gold. Waiting for support. Ash, maybe. Really would love for this to be the last 5 minutes of pre-London and for its close strong bullish, and then for sure there'd be a valid entry. So wait and see how the 15 closes. Closes back weak. If the new candle opens up lower wick, we would have had multiple rejections of this zone, even long wicks. New candle opens up lower wick, I'd buy it as it breaks the high. That would be my plan. Wow, got the rocket from Major Time, nice one. As I thought that as well. I'm sure he's a good guy, but I think when he drinks it, yeah, probably. Sad how some people like that, in all honesty. I find when I have a drink, I just get even more friendly, but not stupid friendly. I don't get touchy-feely or anything like that. I'm just chilled. Have a drink. Don't get violent. Unless it's necessary. I've got pissed off once or twice, but that was had good reason to be. Wow, you already made 2.8%. Nice one. Hope it goes up. Well, yeah. I wish you luck. Yeah, Mustang 2K15 playing the plan, bro. Well, it just depends on how his candle closes. So 5 minutes about to close. Let's look at that. If the next 5 minute can close strong bullish, maybe above the bearish candle high here, then we're going to close the 15 back a bullish candle with multiple rejections of this resistance. Off the back of that, the new candle opens up, creates a lower wick. I'll buy it as it breaks the high of this candle. If it closes back weak bearish, I would also use that as a potential catalyst to suggest we've grabbed downside liquidity with these two multiple rejections, two wicks, long wicks being left at previous level. And again, I just need a lower wick on the new candle, and I would look for a potential buy as it breaks the high. Would definitely be at break even very quickly. And again, issue with gold, wide stop losses. Wouldn't make much sense to secure unless you got a bit of a wider target. It's Ismek. Are you using MT5? Yep, I am. I trade to all scrambled my history. Yeah, I'm not sure about that too. I find that to be the case. I think is it not determined by where is it? History. Oh no, opens in 6 minutes at G, yep. A bit less now. 4 minutes. It should be in order. All right, so we're rejecting just now, so maybe there won't be any buys just yet. But the good news is that we could actually tap into the Asian range high here. Pre-EU Open. And if we bounce off that, would there be possibilities for support to form? XAUUSD 1, you're bearish. And Johnny? I think it's gold's still very bullish personally. Talking about a longer term picture. And Tony, did I see the 1 hour candle? Oh, but I can look at it now. Strong rejection. Yeah, 1 hour looks horrendous. Strong rejection. Would prefer it to be back below resistance though, if I was considering a sell. But again, this level to me is quite significant now. We're about to tap into. It's the Asian range high. Well, it's technically not. Asian range high is there, but pre-EU Open. That's what I'm concerned about. That's what I'm interested in. Oliver, I'm waiting to see how price reacts to the resistance we're currently at. XAU, I don't trade fair value ups, but all good. Alright, just over a minute guys until the session open here. So that buy plan is definitely not going to be valid unless it rips in the next minute. Unless it rips to the upside. Well, lost the trade. Hit your stop loss. Oh, you said you already made 2.8%. I hope you mean trailing stop loss. Otherwise, you're just being greedy, mate, if you jump straight in again. Lauren, who knows? Wait and see. Wait for a signal to enter. There is no signal at the minute for me to enter. Well, trailing. That's all right then. All good. He still ends up in a profit. That's the main thing. All right, London Open, guys. We are officially open, and once again, nothing at the minute I can do. There is no confirmation. Let's just see what happens. Yesterday we tanked at the open. Tanked prior to the open. Was it just to grab some downside liquidity in order to continue bullish? Remains to be seen. Still don't mind it above that level, but I would love to see the 15 closing back very strong, bullish, back above the resistance. Oh, Greco, waiting, sitting on my hands. That's what I'm doing. Arafin, well done. Best Paul, thank you for sharing live. And Johnny and Gillen, I think it's still bearish. Fair enough, you're entitled to your opinion. I think it's more bullish. Training with Casey Thorne. I am in long gold buys in heavy drawdown. What you think my play is? You should know that prior to entering the trade. It's the truth. Where's your stop loss? You need to have a stop loss. Don't just hold on in hope. What is the basis of the trade? Is it, are you swing trading it? What's your plan? For me, I'm personally waiting for it to form support, and then I might join you in a buy. But if you're in some severe drawdown, you should have had a plan as to how to go about managing that drawdown and at what point you might cut it. There's no guarantees. It could form support. I could get involved in a buy, and it could tank. There is no guarantees at all. You need to have a plan. That's why I have a stop loss. I always have a plan prior to my entry. I know where my stop loss is. I know where I'm going to begin to cut partials in drawdown, so on and so forth. I would say if we remain above this level, we're pretty good to continue up, but your entry might be way higher up, so I don't know. No, it's the 15. And look at a 30, see what's going on. So the 30 you've rejected above, you've got that pause. So you're trading based off the M30, you want to see a strong bullish closure here. Preferably engulfing the body, if not the whole candle would be better. Abdel, at the minute, nothing. Looking for a potential buy, but I don't yet have the right confirmation. Okay, so Thorn been entering stacking buys this whole run. Last month entered near the all-time high before the drop. So obviously with leverage, and maybe you've over risked. Who knows? I don't know. But you should be okay with the risk that you're accepting. If you bought it near the all-time high and you've allowed to sit in that much drawdown, I don't know how you do it, to be honest, and how you've not been margin called, to be honest, unless you got a massive account and you have a very low lot size, because that's some pretty severe drawdown. Yeah, I think we're pretty good to continue bullish. It begins to pop below 4k, especially 39.50 roughly. And I reckon that could lead to a bigger sell-off. Again, I follow the gold and silver markets a lot on the daily, basically. I've got some different opinions. Everyone has the one same opinion though of it, and that is it will be worth a lot more in the future. Some are saying it's going to pull back towards that even as low as 3k prior to it. Some are saying it won't pull back much at all, like it'll make pullbacks like it has made this week and then once again continue. So who knows, but they all have the same belief, and that is that gold will be worth a hell of a lot more moving forward in the future. Same as silver. Heard one really good analyst predict silver to get to 2k, which I would absolutely love if that was the case. If that was the case, won't see me, wouldn't even bother trading it ever again, to be honest. ZFX, thank you for sharing live. Ali, what would your advice be for a beginner? I mentioned it earlier. Advice would be you need a plan. You definitely need a game plan. What you're trading, how many trades a day, what you're risking per trade, what you're risking per day. You need to work on patience and discipline. You really need to work on that. It's the most important part of trading. Work on emotions. Start off with what you can afford to lose, because the reality is you're likely going to lose it. The beginner, yeah, just take your time with it. Don't try to hit home runs. Don't think it's a get rich quick scheme. It's a grind. It's a real grind. You have your moments, you have your good and your bad, but at the end of the day, if you have the discipline and patience to stick to what works for you, and the important thing which will determine that is make sure you journal every single trade. And then what that will do, like I mentioned before, it will start to show some patterns within your trading, what works and what doesn't. Focus on what works and put to bed what doesn't work. That's what I would personally recommend. The journaling's a big one. Patience, discipline, and having a plan for the whole thing when it comes to trading, what you to do of the day. All right, gold rejecting here. Let's see. And these 5-minute candles, let's just measure. That one in itself is 88 pips, guys. It's really not easy with such huge volume on these candles. Thank you for the sub on YouTube. Yeah, it means I need to really lower my lot sizes. It means I need a wider, obviously wider stop, wider target. Tricky. Looking for buys. Icky, no idea. You know, I don't have a crystal ball to predict what's happening in the next day. Just react to what I see here. If you ask me well into the future, again, I don't have a crystal ball, but I'm of the belief gold continues very bullish. Johnny, strategy, price action, predetermined levels. Those levels are based on the 4 hour and 15. I use a bit of a bias based on multiple different time frames, so the general direction will give me my overall bias. But yeah, quite simply, it's just price action. No fair value ups or any of that. The money, it says buy now. Just staying 2K15, you're in at 13. Okay, nice one. Sean, what kind of lot size do you trade with? No, it's how is that? How does that benefit anyone? Shouldn't worry anyone what lot size someone else is trading. For me, like I mentioned before, yes, it's enough to see single returns and it's enough to see significant losses. So I need to make sure I'm managing my trades and need to make sure I have a set risk. Generally speaking, I use fixed lots, but with the volume of gold lately, yesterday I was not prepared to risk much, and I was happy with that. But generally speaking, it's anywhere usually between 1 and 5%, but of late it's more like 1%, maybe 1.5 to max, because of the volatility on gold. It's good when it goes for you, for sure, but when it rips against you, wow, it can rip straight through. Well, only look at the M15 or more look, it's the main catalyst, but if it's coming to closure of the M30 becomes more important than 15 and the hourly, so on and so forth. We'll look at the 5 as well. But yeah, as far as the main entry time frames, generally speaking, it's the 15. Johnny, all good, mate. Again, if you're worried about that and you follow your plan, mate. I still don't have the right confirmation either way to look for a buy. Well, where do you look for entry for confirmation? At levels I've determined to be levels I want to get involved. So, for instance, this resistance on the 105. No, more than the 15. Sometimes, again, I can look at the 5 to add confluence, so see what's going on within the 15-minute candle, what's going on the 5, and sometimes a 5-minute candle will give me a bit of a signal. Generally speaking, it's the 15. Special, always full margin. You can make great profits by risking your entire account. Yep, that's exactly how I roll. That's how I used to roll back in the day. Learned a lesson. First time I didn't even know I was doing it, to be honest. I had no idea how to calculate lot sizes or anything. And that was when we had 1 to 500 leverage. I mentioned before, flipped that on one trade and lost it 2 days later. No idea what I was doing. That was more than 8 years ago now. Yeah, I don't have that. BTC, had a look at it before. So same as gold, pull back buys. But it's lagging gold at the minute. Smashing life gets boring, risk it. You know what? Sometimes you need, I wouldn't do it training, but yeah, sometimes you need it to wake up a bit. Abdul, what kind of strategy? Again, price action, mate, at predetermined levels. Levels are based on the 4 hour and the minor time frame 15. Gray area, gray zones at the 4 hour, blue at the 15. And bias is determined based off analyzing multiple time frames, 4 different time frames. So again, there's no fair value gaps. I don't trade fair value gaps. I don't trade SMC or anything like that. I have different ways to get involved in trades. But yeah, you just watch on the regular and you'll pick up on it. But again, the main catalyst is price action, which is not the greatest at the minute. Because normally this would be a pretty good sell signal, but I want it to be back below. We have tapped into the 4 hour, haven't we? We have actually. Let's just clear these drawings. Tapped into the 4 hour resistance and we are rejecting. What I can see is that we're still not quite tapped into the Asian range high, which is my real concern. But what we've got just now is potentially a sell catalyst. It's a weak bullish candle leaving a long upper wick. Once again, use the fib here in doubt, and if it closes below 0.382, that would signify weakness in the candle. And if the following candle was to break it, there'd be a high probability it would make the move and continue bearish. My concern is we've not retested the Asian range high, and we're still back above the resistance, so it could just bounce off at any point. Need to be strict with it. But that is, as far as price action catalyst, that's a good one. That is a good one. So you need an upper wick, and then you'd be looking for potential entry as it breaks the low. There's the upper wick. Issue would be, once again, stop loss. These stop losses are huge. Even if you use the current candle. Yeah, I mean, it's not bad at the minute. You're looking at about 40 pips. Shall we risk it for the biscuit team? It's low. 41, 1, 2, 1, 6. So 41, 1, 1, 9, 5. Stop loss would have to be above the high, but again, very risky because it's not yet tapped back into the Asian range high. And yesterday we just melted through it. So if it did the same today, it'd be great. That is the only thing I see at the minute. Let's look at this properly. We've tapped it. Yeah, I'm a little bit. Whilst we're above this level, I'm not convinced. So I'm gonna wait and see what happens. How the 30-minute closes now. Five minute, we want to really be above 41.24. Steph was looking at one. Still preference the buys as long as we remain above or around this zone here. Is male. Which chart you use? The gold chart. Trading view. On trading view. XAUUSD. Camera. Michael. So patient. It's awesome. Yeah, it's not always awesome for the stream though. But it is what it is. I've just got to do what I do and what works for me. But I appreciate it. You need to work on that. Yeah. It's the most difficult part of trading. Johnny's going to take a lot of time to build, I think. Yeah, fair enough. Long or short. Not Not convinced by anything at the minute. Prefer to buy it if we remain above this level though. Julia, what meme? No idea. I don't trade crypto. Yeah, long since 4109 in futures market. Nice one. We're in profit. Joni, yep, I agree. No coin. Anthony, gold bias more bullish, but if we pull up a little bit higher, I'd be interested in selling it from higher up. If we start to pop below the Asian session range high prior to EU open, that's what I'm concerned about. There could be options to sell it. But yeah, nothing right now. Wow, do you compare like DX? What? No, I don't look at it. I don't care about it. This doesn't always go in sync. I know it's inversely correlated, but sometimes it's not. Sometimes they move in the same direction. Well, the most difficult is stopping on time. This day made 3% in the day with -4. No way at all. There is absolutely no chance I'd be up 3% and end up losing -4. That's greed, my friend. That's an issue of discipline. AJ, well, technically speaking, the highest point here, 41.37.73. Asian session is still technically open. Closes 7:30, 8 p.m. my time. So it's another hour and 40 minutes till it closes. But as I mentioned towards the beginning of the stream, what I often see is price will pull back to the EU open, whatever the highest point of the Asian session was. Not always. Or to the downside, lowest point. It'll either respect it and continue, in this case, the upside, or reject it and ends up rejecting pretty strongly. So that's why I'm concerned about that level. Now, of course, there's hard to know timing on gold, have volume, but I always mess it up not waiting. Yeah, so it's just a discipline thing, mate. So the good news is that, you know, in time, you should be able to get the better of that. What will happen, what happened to me is I just got sick of doing stupid shit. You get to that point where you realize an important thing again is to journal, because you're gonna start to see you can actually do it. You just gotta stop doing the stupid stuff. You realize you can, if you just behave on the charts and, you know, have discipline, patience, all that good stuff, you can actually become a consistent trader. You need to be as robotic as you possibly can. And most of the time moves happen after I get margin call. Yeah, I've been through all that. I understand. Justin, no, I am not in. Abdul, how long have you been trading London session while you're living in Melbourne? Do some trade? No, I don't trade MY. It's too late for me here during our this time of year anyway. Daylight savings time. London more than 8 years. Asian as well, but Asian not every day. It depends on what I'm doing during the day. Energy definitely is welcome. Hasn't passed 4109, so that's good. If you are in a buy, then probably is good. Wow. Sorry, trade delicious. Gold today, it's been wild, couple of days. Yeah, definitely both gold and Bitcoin. Charts look quite similar at the minute too. Bitcoin a little bit lagging over the gold chart at the minute, so I've not yet retested the level. It's just broken. I want to see how price reacts to that point. Gold is trying to remain above the level it broke out of pre-London, and to me, if it does continue to manage to stay above that level, it's a high probability we're heading up. but it is struggling. Wow, discipline's your issue, as per most traders, my friend. So you're not the only one. Doing good, got my 100k funnel, lost it, and lost it again after phase 2. Yeah, it's tough, mate. Between fast run and no emoji with what misses. Okay, I'm not too sure what you mean by that last sentence, but yeah, discipline is huge, mate. 6 spawn. What am I waiting for? Valid confirmation above this level. Just consolidating here on 5. No strength in these 15-minute candles. This is the type of situation where it would not surprise me if we have this strong bearish candle creeping again. I just don't have the right confirmation to buy it. These candles don't signify strength. Well, no, far from breakout trader. Probably why I've not been involved much this week at all, because I rarely ever take a breakout, to be honest. The initial breakout. MW, new here, sick messing it up. You're letting yourself down when you're not. Yep, exactly. When you don't have discipline and patience to wait, you just sabotage your trading. 100%. It's the toughest part. And if, look, it could be boring. Yes, trading is, it's not supposed to be exhilarating. Trading is not, it's not a computer game, or, you know, it's not like pokies where you press a button, you might get lucky. You literally need to wait for your confirmation that you know that is of higher probability, and it's boring, like bloody boring. A lot of time, 99% of the time you're waiting, and then some days, 100% of that day, there is no trade. All right, let's see. Gold starting to pop back up here. Love a 5-minute, strong 5-minute closure here. Wick, maybe soon, we'll see. Ray Quasi, it's going for 4,115. Maybe. It's already been there not long ago. Arafin, I'm not into any of that shit. Okay, I do what I do, you do what you do. I don't trade as much as you do. So, all good. Again, I trade the way I trade because it's what works for me. I don't put my account under enormous stress by trading in and out every 2 seconds. I don't put myself under enormous stress by trading in and out every 2 seconds. I trade when I know there's a very high probability it's going to be a winning trade. So to me, I'm not afraid to not trade. I'm not afraid to not even take a trade for 2-3 days in a row. It does not concern me the slightest. It's all part of trading. So I don't claim, I'm not a micro scalper. I don't look at the 1 minute and in 2 seconds in a buy and the next second taking the sell on the other flip side. It's just not what I do. Well, that's strong. I need to learn. Patience, yep. We break level for longs, 41, 24. Break out with volume. Yeah, it's not technically a breakout though. Breaking and retesting. But I get what you mean. Six spawn? Yes, but no too. I trade the same session every day. I do have other interests in the background. I have another business as well, and that's good. I always recommend having something because it takes stress away from trading. It means you can be really disciplined because you're not forced to take a trade, to be justified to sit in the charts. And it's just what, again, it's what works for me. If I, at times, yes, I go full time because I'm away or whatever, so I'm not involved with the family side of things. No way, I just trade full time. But yeah, I don't, again, don't feel a need to always be involved. So I think having something else in the background definitely helps with that. Helps with the discipline. Good to see you coming down to retest WS London. Is it? Yep, perfect. So this is where I'd be looking for some sort of price action catalyst. Paraffin, I hear that, but don't you look? Yes, of course I look for A+ setups, but I'm not going to sit in a chart for 15 hours waiting for it. That's what I'm saying to you. You know, mate. You should know. You should know. I sit in a charts for maybe 2 hours a day max. If I get my opportunity, fantastic. If I sit here all day, I'm likely going to get 1 or 2, maybe 3 opportunities. But it's just not what I do. It is not what I do, because I don't want the charts to dictate my life. I think it's boring as, you know, you can make out the rest. To sit here for 8 hours a day trying to find trades. Done it before. Did it. I mean, you asked the people involved in that service. Absolutely smashed it, but I hated it. I absolutely hated it. It was the worst thing I've done at signal service. And it wasn't my group, it was another group. I absolutely killed it, but I hated it. I really hated it, because I was forced to sit in the charts for so long every day. Spaz poll Discord. Again, it's all in the links under my profile. S spawn, 6 spawn, sorry. What type, bud? Whatever you can afford to lose. You can start with $100 if that's all you can afford, to be honest. Not going to get far with it though. Cole Train, what website or book to learn terminology? Type it into the chat. That's the best one. It's free as well. Cole, you also, yeah, well, that's exactly right. And when I was involved in that single service, I had no life. It was draining as it was so draining. I absolutely hate it. At the start, thought I'd give it a go. It was all right. Got to the point where the other guys couldn't do it. I was doing it myself. And the particular owner of that group wasn't helping at all that time, and I had enough of it. That's the tour 7 out by. Not yet. Arafin, nice one. Happy, great advice, thank you. Yes, it is 6 spawn. It's probably the best place to start. It's for free, there's no catches. You don't have to pay for anything. I think there is some sort of subscription if you really want, but you don't need it. Otherwise, books, no training books. When it comes to discipline, this is the best one by far. And the author has passed away. There's a free audio version of that particular title on YouTube, and it really, for me, it made a massive difference. A huge difference in my trading. A lot of it's common sense, not difficult to follow. Saba, preferably above this resistance, but it's fighting at that level, and I did mention before, will not surprise me if we sink below again. With the weakness to the upside here. Six spawn, all good. Hey man. Well, 1 hour flips time for sells. Yeah, not for me. Well, day skipping, no trades, losing day for me. That's to you, mate. Fair enough. Not for me. For me, it shows enormous growth and discipline, progress. I never used to be able to do it, but now I can happily do it for multiple days. Again, I'll sit here for pretty much just on the charts while I'm on stream. I'll jump on the moment, maybe look at the charts from another half an hour with live members update afterwards. an hour or so, 2 hours after the stream. So that's about it. I don't look to trade it after the stream because quite frankly, I'm pretty buggered. I've got a lot going on at the minute and I can't focus on the charts for too long, to be honest. So yeah, so speaking of, guys, I'm gonna get going. I'm gonna go relax, have some dinner, and then I jump on a call with my team. But what I'd be looking for is, if it is to be to the downside, you want to see a really strong bearish candle printing and closing. So something like that, wipe out those buyers, close below the Asian range high, the level I'm talking about, the EU open level, upper wick, and then it could be a valid entry to retest the support back at 4,089 roughly. To the upside, it's a bit tricky with the rejection at the minute, to be honest. It's not that clean. What I'd probably be looking for is maybe focus a little bit more on a 5-minute as well. You need a really strong bullish candle. It's pretty much, we need to be strong bullish back above. If this closes bearish, bullish engulfing well back above that zone, that could be a catalyst. It's just not clean to the upsides. More, in my opinion, it's cleaner to the downside, so that's what I'll be looking at. But yeah, that is it. All right, guys, take care. Have a good one. Until Monday, I won't be on tomorrow. No chance I'll be on tomorrow. I won't have time. Trade safe. All the best, guys. Take care. Cheers. Bye.